The numbers told the story. They always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gill Alexander on VSiN.
Good Thursday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM channel 158. It's Gill Alexander. That right there is Kelley Bydlon. And this is Danny Higgins' second to last day.
That's right, man.
I want to do something for Danny, but Danny's like, no, I will be out of here the minute after the show in a different state.
He's working, packing, hitting the road. He's got work to start early next week.
Also, what I learned just moments ago is that Kelley Bydlon may be leaving the show because you want to start what? What do you want to start?
An escalator company, maybe escalator repair company. I don't know. If anything I've learned in Vegas over my, 9 years living out here now, is that every casino I ever walk in, there's a broken escalator and there's people fixing it. It looks like a massive project. It looks really expensive.
Why?
Like Derek Stevens has to have an escalator company on retainer. There's people here like once a week.
There's an escalator in the middle of the strip. So right where
there's a lot with the skywalks, right?
With the skywalks, right where the Cosmo is. You take the skywalk right across the street, and there's like the Walgreens and that kind of thing. So right in the heart of the strip, corner of Harmon and Las Vegas Boulevard. There's an escalator there on that other side. I swear to you, it is broken 86.4% of the time.
That's what I'm talking about. And there's always people working on these things.
Yeah.
So there's got to be good money in that business.
Creating jobs.
Creating jobs. That's what I'm here for.
Kelley Bydlon, maybe his second to last day. I don't know.
Maybe.
On the show today, Zach and Crack. Zach Cohen makes his triumphant return to the show. He was on a European vacation, I believe it was?
Yeah.
He'll talk U.S. Open with us day before we get together with Drew Ditzik, do the podcast on the Open post-draw. We're getting the draw here later today. He will talk NFL with us as well. Michael Montesano will join us. He in studio?
He's in studio.
Let's go. Montesano.
I think he's at the gym right now.
Well, where else would he be? Bets and Reps, by the way, is his Twitter. He will talk college football futures with us. I think he has an NFL future as well. Montesano will join us. Now, Right Angle Sports joining the show today. Michael Reardon will join the show today, talk college football with us. We'll talk week 0 with him. Now, this is usually what we will have with him is a live release on the show. I don't know that we're getting that today because it's week 0.
Yeah.
And these have been up for, 100 months. Mm-hmm. So don't know we're getting that, but we'll talk college football, week 0 primarily with Michael Reardon. And then it is unscripted with the Crack Man a little bit earlier than normal today, about 15 minutes earlier than normal. And the reason for that is because for the majority of the final hour, the co-founder of World Sports Exchange, Jay Cohen, will be joining us from an undisclosed location somewhere in Eastern Europe, I believe. But he will be joining us courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line to talk about his new book, Odds Man Out. And I will say it once again, I don't know if I've looked forward to a guest as much as this guy ever, because I read the book. I devoured that book. It was so awesome.
It's a wild story, man.
It's an it's for those of us of a certain age who also, played on World Sports Exchange. What a story, from being revolutionary to believing in America to having it all just crumble. And we'll get into all the details. I want to, for those who haven't read the book, for those who don't know the story, we'll get to the nuts and bolts of the story, and then I have a bunch of questions to ask him regarding, regrets. What about people left holding the bag at the end? So many things to discuss, but what a story. And there should not be, I say this about the Baseball Hall of Fame, there should not be a Baseball Hall of Fame without Barry Lamar Bonds. There should never be a sports betting or sports gambling Hall of Fame without Jay Cohen in it. Period. We're still doing the T at the end of the period, or are people still saying that? Period. Anyway.
Period. I don't know that one. Looking forward to Jay coming on.
Yes.
That's going to be fun.
Yesterday in tennis, had 3 plays. You either went 2-0 or 2-1, depending on where you shopped. Because for once, and we actually, when you were gone, Kelley, we did a spreadsheet radio one morning.
I love that. I loved it. I saw it in the show recap. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, we did. I sort of
should do it more often.
Yeah, I don't know how much people. What do you think people like more, spreadsheet radio or tax code radio? When we do gambling taxes,
spreadsheet radio for sure.
Okay,
spreadsheet radio, and that is, I think it applies to a lot of sports. I think that there are. I don't think you have to be much more than a casual sports bettor to start wondering and asking questions. How do these people get to these numbers and arrive at these bets? And I think it's always interesting, no matter what people are doing with power ratings or how they're handicapping a sport. I love learning that about anybody who comes on and talks about what they're betting.
I do too. I just wonder if you took maybe for this show it's different, right? If you took the average numbers game listener, maybe they are into it.
I'm not saying we need to do 3 hours on it. Yeah.
No, we confined it to one segment. Yeah. I did that favor anyway. But the point is that we finally what we showed last week was that this year, 2026, based on folks walking off the court after the matches started, I culled just the withdrawals and showed those. I have, and then you put the score of when the player walked off the court, men's or women's, and then you make a very sort of honest assessment of would we have likely have won this match, would we likely have lost this match, and then a lot of them are throwouts too. But it would have cost us over 8 units this year. We could get the worst of all the folks walking off the court who are about to win, right? 5-love in the third, 5-1 in the third, and the opponent walks off the court. Now, what does that do? That means we still win at some books that grade after one set, but it minimizes our winnings because some books that we bet at grade only at completion of match. Well, last night we got a unit plus back, because we hit on Bousset yesterday, who won. We also hit on Van de Zandschulp, who won like 6-1, 6-love, like he crushed. B, V to Z.
I was just trying to think of it. B, V to Z.
Yeah, he won. So we won those two, but then so we needed Sebastian Baez for the clean sweep. Sebastian Baez is getting beat 1 set down and 4-love. Like he was just not there. And a lot of this has to do with this week. It's a Fakakta week. Oh, and I said yesterday, I probably shouldn't be playing this week. I've ratcheted down to 1 play today. But Baez down 4-love, 2 games away from losing. He walks off the court. So give us a little bit of that bad luck back.
There we go.
Thank you very much.
All right, so I missed the segment. I got a question for you right away. Are you tracking these in real time, like every day? Whenever you're trying to tracking results, is that something that you're noting? So it was easy to go back and kind of go through your notes.
Yes, on the withdrawals specifically.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, I want to know what was likely to happen, and are we getting? And we went back in time too. Like 1 year, we actually got the best of it by like 4 units, but this year by far, and it's only August, just getting smacked on those. So we get one of those favorable. So no apologies in other words, and Baez walking off the court.
Even
yesterday.
like day of or day after, when you're kind of marking these results, you'll even mark when the withdrew happened. When the
quit. Score is when they go.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
Because otherwise, you don't really have a sense of what.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
That's why I thought you would have had to go back and look that up.
Well, there will be some from years ago. I don't think I did it in 2022, and I had to go back and look. Yeah.
Gotcha.
There's only 1 play today. This is what's interesting is, and again, I have some insight into certain prediction markets. Yesterday was like the biggest tennis day, volume-wise.
I don't think that's.
And I'm just like, okay, that has to be like Square Bear stuff because again, my numbers are this week. It's the weird tournament before the U.S. Open. Men are in Winston-Salem. It's a 250. Ladies are in Monterrey in Mexico. It's a 500. But anyway, the people are betting these left and right. I only have one today. Ignacio Bousset, once again, we're going back to the well on him. The Peruvian, I believe he's Peruvian, plus 102 versus Juan Manuel Cerúndolo. There you go. That's the only tennis play.
The other Cerúndolo.
The other saloon.
You bet against him yesterday, right?
Yes. Well, that was the one where Baez walked off the court.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, Bousset's the only play today, and this is, I feel like, probably only get 1 play a day or 2 plays a day max here in the next couple of days before we get to the U.S. Open.
Did you see that Brad Allen tweet I sent you this morning?
Yes.
Just bringing up off the tennis. You were talking about the tennis.
Yeah.
Preseason betting.
Football. NFL.
Football. This is from Brad Allen at Brad Allen NFL. Cumulative football trading is already above $400 million this preseason, up from 13.8 at the same time last year.
Yep. And again, the number with, again, volume in prediction markets is not an exact reflection of handle. Betting handle in legalized sportsbook. Sportsbooks is the total pool of money being bet. Volume at prediction markets is not exactly that. Because there's market maker to market maker, there's market maker to peer, there's peer to peer. But it's at least half of that. It's minimum.
It's a 30 times increase, though, in a year in volume.
It's insane. Which ties in again with our guest at the end of the show, Jay Cohen, who pioneered all this stuff and has reaped zero benefit from any of it.
Gill, this season's NFL numbers are going to be out of control.
Well,
I mean, like last year was kind of like the first year it felt like people were using it, but not everybody we even knew were using prediction markets last year.
I don't know if you remember me though, Kelly. Like there was some. I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago, where like a Monday night game, and I would say, I think I said it on air. I was like, "Do you know what the volume was Monday Night Football?" Because we come from a state where we're in a state, Nevada, where remember when a Super Bowl happened, you're like, wow, the handle has broken the record. It's $127 million statewide or whatever we used to say. I mean, these guys, and again, there's Robin Hood accounts, and it's a bunch of trading during. But it's just like we cannot conceive of the money.
No, we can't. We can't. Yeah. No, it's good of you to qualify that. Yeah. But the Nevada Super Bowl handle is never going to come close ever again to what we see on the volume. It's a
whole new world. We'll talk to Jay Cohen about that as part of the discussion a little later on. MLB August. This is a bit of a roller coaster. Phillies still clinging to the lead. They go up to minus 145 now, current odds with only, 5 days left in the month. They lead the August wins, both from a dead heat perspective or from a tiebreaker perspective. They got it outright right now, 17-7. The Padres are 1 win back at 16-8, and then there are the Red Sox and Rays, 2 wins back at 15-9. Red Sox trying to do the first ever back-to-back in the 3 years that we've done this. No team has ever done that. Your Cubbies, 3 wins back. Kind of getting on life support here. Hope you didn't have the Giants yesterday.
Wow. So was that 6 runs in the ninth?
Giants up 9-3, I believe it was, in the ninth. Is that correct? And a 7-run Reds ninth inning beats the Giants 10-9. We'll look at best record at MLB, worst record MLB as well on the show, because the Giants are like, hey, ooh, look at us. We might be that team. Will Hill or Zach Cohen.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
College football, week 0. It's here. The NFL season is just around the corner. Now it's time to get your edge with VSiN Pro. On Monday, our updated NFL betting guide drops with post-preseason updates, week 1 betting systems, contest strategies, and updated best bets for VSiN's experts. Sign up today. You also get instant access to our college football betting guide, plus daily best bets, real-time betting splits from DraftKings and Circa, AI-powered prop projections, and 24/7 video on the VSiN Watch app. Start for as little as $9.99. Or save 50% with a VSiN Pro annual subscription. Head to VSiN.com/subscribe now. That's VSIN.com/subscribe. I said our next guest was Will Hill. By Will Hill, I meant Zach Cohen. Will was yesterday.
I'm a little disappointed in Zach.
I know. Well, Zach also letting us know off air that on his European vacation, he went to both Paris and London, and he said he went by train from one to the other. I'm just going to suggest to Zach as he comes on the show, perhaps he didn't go to one of those cities because I think that's impossible.
No, you can't. He used the channel.
But he said he didn't use the channel.
No, he did. He just doesn't know what the channel is.
Oh, Zach Cohen
Which
joins
is even
now.
more, that's what's sadder. It's even more sad.
Courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line. Zach joins us now. You can follow him on Twitter at Betting on X. Zach, how was the trip, and how did you get from one spot to the other?
The trip was great. We did do a lot. We just kind of walked around London for like 6 days with the baby, strolling her around. And that flight, by the way, to London was fine. The way back was a disaster, but she was really, really good for most of this trip. So I know a lot of people kind of said that I was insane for bringing her, but it really did work out pretty well.
Okay, and you did go via Channel to Paris then afterwards?
It must have been the Channel. I don't know. I didn't know what it was called, but it must have been. It was like right next to where Harry Potter went to Hogwarts. So if that's what the Channel is, then yeah.
This blows my mind only because
you do realize there's water in between, right?
Yeah. Like
yeah, you go underwater.
Oh, okay, there you go.
This blows my mind just because I'd be I love stuff like this.
Yeah.
I'd be the nerd who wanted to go on the Channel tour. Like, guys, it's someone looked at the island of Britannia and Europe and a bunch of water in between 30 miles and was like, you know what? Let's go all the way down and we're going to build out this huge tunnel so people can drive cars and take trains through it.
Were you also like, and I'll build you an escalator that won't break?
It's incredible. It's an incredible feat of human engineering.
Man's amazing, Zach.
Appreciate it.
I hope your daughter made it okay in the end, and that you weren't the laughing stock of the airplane or everybody pointing the finger at you. This is a really strange week in tennis. Again, the U.S. Open draw happens today. Men are in Winston-Salem. Ladies are in Mexico. You did manage to find a couple plays here, though, for us.
Yeah, I mean, I have a few more on the website too, but these were two of my favorites. I like Colton Smith on the money line against Hugo Gaston in U.S. Open qualifying. That was minus 110 when I got it. Not exactly sure what it is now, but I really think this is a really good value, even if you have to take a little bit worse, like minus 140. But Smith is a player with a lot of firepower, big serve, big forehand, really dangerous on hard courts, and somebody that does a good job of kind of playing into the American crowd. Whereas Gaston's a player that has really struggled on hard courts throughout his career, has a hole percentage under 70% on this surface, which is really bad. And I just don't know that he's going to be able to kind of hit through his opponent in this match. So I really like the younger Smith to find a way to get through this one. And then, like you said, it is a weird week. We have some tennis in Winston-Salem. I like Alexander Kovacevic plus 125 against Arthur Ferry. Little surprised that Kovacevic is the underdog in this match. I feel like Ferry's numbers are a little inflated from what we just saw at Wimbledon, but throughout the course of his career, this has not been a very good server. He's a player with a good backhand. He likes to keep a lot of balls alive, but I think that what we saw in London from him was, a little bit of an out-of-body experience with him kind of playing well in front of that crowd. I think Kovacevic is a better player, and I think that he has a few more pathways to a victory in this match.
All right, there you go. A couple more tennis plays, if one wasn't enough earlier. Arthur Ferry, who got to the semis in Wimbledon using a new Wilson Defier racket. That's what it is. It's that racket. It's always the tools. Okay, to college football, week 0. Everybody has a thought, it seems like, on UNC and TCU. You are no exception. How are you playing this?
Yeah, I guess we don't really have a choice but to have a thought on this game. This feels like the biggest game of the weekend, but I do like UNC in this game. I got a bad number on it. I got +8. It has since moved. You can even find the 9.5 right now, but I think that the move wasn't really warranted. It's surrounding Steve Belichick and his, health status heading into that game. Sounds like he's not going to be on the sidelines. He's on medical leave, and perhaps Bill Belichick will be the one calling the plays. But I do think that this is going to be an interesting game because TCU is shifting from the air raid offense to a pro style offense. And I just kind of think this is going to end up being an ugly game. Like, you look at the weather, you're expected to see some rain. I still trust the Tar Heels defense to kind of hold its own in this one. So if it's going to be kind of lower in scoring, and I do lean under on 47.5, I'll take the points with the Tar Heels, who I think are going to be much better offensively this season, because I do like Bobby Petrino as an offensive coordinator. Maybe some off the field questions with him always, but I do think does a good job of running an offense. And I think the quarterback situation is a little bit better than it was a year ago. Billy Edwards Jr. is good when he is on the field. I don't know that he's going to be on the field. I am a Wisconsin fan. I feel like I never actually got to see him play last year, but I do think that he is going to be just fine for them. So I think it's going to be a close game. I think UNC actually has a chance to win that game.
Saturday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Oh, yeah. Waking up Saturday morning to that one. I didn't catch this, so pardon me for putting you on the spot here, Zach, but did you have a Heisman thought or bet this year?
I have a bunch of thoughts, but like the newest one that I had is that I do think that Keelan Russell, the new Alabama starting quarterback, is very much live in that market. So I have a few over in the guide. My favorite being probably Darian Mensah from Miami. I think that that's going to be somebody that puts up massive numbers for a team that goes on to win the ACC and make the college football playoff. And we've just seen so many QBs have success in that Hurricanes offense and transfer QBs too. So that's my favorite play, kind of at the top of the board. But I do think Russell is really interesting for Alabama because that is an offense that we know can be really explosive under Ryan Grubb. And I think he's a really unique player because he is athletic, but he's a really good pocket passer and he moves very well in the pocket. He can make every throw you want him to make, but when he needs to take off, he's going to be able to do it. So I see him being a player that puts up huge numbers. And I don't know, I think he's going to have some showcase games as a part of that Alabama team. And I think the Crimson Tide will be a little bit better than people think. So that is a really long number, the 26-1 that's listed down there for somebody that I believe has as much talent as anybody at the position.
I haven't heard one person, and this is just anecdotal because I'm sure there's people who have bets on him, but I've heard one person mention Trinidad Chambliss on this show from Ole Miss at 13-1. Are we sleeping on him here?
I don't know. The reason I don't have him is I do think that Ole Miss is going to be a regression candidate, and I do think that he's lost quite a bit when you're looking at his pass catchers. I think Chambliss is going to put up some big numbers in some big games. I think that he's going to be a part of the conversation. I just don't like him as much as some of the players a little bit further down the board, so I'd rather take some longer shots than grab him.
Okay.
I found that curious as well, though.
Yeah,
I've noticed that. I'll shout out Zach, though. I haven't heard much Alabama love period either this offseason. So at least we got a little there.
To the NBA, we'll round about. We'll get to tennis next segment again for U.S. Open thoughts. But NBA's had I don't know what we call it, a spate of trades, but there's been a few. By the way, Zach with his top 10 NBA coaches, was that Hardwood Handicappers or was that on the website? What was that?
That was a YouTube video for Hardwood Handicappers.
Handicappers.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Yeah.
Where I believe he made the outlandish claim that Ime Udoka should be ranked higher than Steve Kerr. Did you say that? Is that on there? Yes.
I did say that.
Yeah,
I think that it's probably a bit of a hot take, but I do believe
okay.
that.
Check that out because if you NBA coaches 10 down to 1 for Zach's rankings, Hardwood Handicappers, by the way, wherever you get your podcasts. Has anything moved the needle for you in terms of triggering a bet or two?
Yeah, so I think the Peyton Watson trade to the Cavaliers is the first one in a while, at least, that has kind of made me shift my thinking on a team. I kind of said like last week or 2 weeks ago, all blending together now, but I thought there were like 6 or 7 teams in the Eastern Conference that could win, and I thought the Cavaliers were the first team in the next tier. I think getting Watson bumps them back up into Eastern Conference contender status. And I think that Watson's a player that, maybe not the greatest player in the world. There are definitely some holes in his game. And I don't think that, Denver is going to be dead in the water because they lost him. But Cleveland has been missing a big wing that can defend, that can make plays in transition, somebody that has his exact skill set for years now. And I thought that LeBron James would have been a really good fit for them as a small forward. But I think that Watson is going to add another element to that team as well. So I kind of liked them going out and making that move. I also like that it's something that, kind of keeps them in the mix for being a good team after James Harden and Donovan Mitchell. You have a young core now that includes Evan Mobley, Peyton Watson, Jalen Tyson, a player I really like. But yeah, I think the Cavaliers were, an Eastern Conference Finals team last year. Obviously, we're really disappointing in that Knicks series, and we all kind of lost faith in Kenny Atkinson. But I think they got a lot better in making that move.
Okay, so then give me your Eastern Conference pecking order, if you would, as we stand right now.
Yeah, I have the Celtics at number 1, and I have the Knicks at number 2. It's a little bit tougher after that. I kind of jumble all those teams together, but I do think the Cavaliers are in that mix. I think the Pacers are in that mix. I liked what the Heat did getting Klay Thompson. I think there's a lot of teams that are going to feel like they could win the East this year. But as of right now, I have the Celtics at 1 and the Knicks at number 2.
And the Pistons are waving their hand right now, saying, "What about us? We're in there too."
Yeah,
a bunch of teams in there. Well, it should be fascinating once basketball starts. Of course, we got the business of football before then, college and pro. More from Zach on multiple things, including more basketball and some more tennis. U.S. Open right around the corner. It's a numbers game at Visa, the Sports Betting Network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Before you place a bet this week, ask yourself one question. Why this number? Did you ask yourself that question, Kelley? You go, why this number?
Yes.
Not who you like, not your gut. Why is this spread actually worth betting? BTB Analytics gives you a real answer. Their models independently price every NFL and college football game, then compare that projection directly against the market. You get the model spread, the current market line, the cover probability, and a quantified edge showing exactly where and by how much their numbers disagree with the book. They've beaten the market, that is, every year since launch. Profitable 3 years running, verified through BetStamp. Scan the QR code or go to btb-analytics.com and use code VSIN for 10% off. That's btb-analytics.com. Whole bunch of tweets. Beating the book. Always appreciated. Game Time Jones. At the Coliseum, the A's would play Celebration by Kool and the Gang after a win. I heard my mother singing it. Celebration time, come on. And connected her with Celebrate Good Times. She said she had been singing it wrong for 30 plus years. Nick Mancini, bring the Megapod already. I'm with you, man. We're getting there. Eric Biggio, our buddy from William Hill Caesars, letting us know that September most wins is up. Right. Major League Baseball.
Tomorrow?
It's up.
No. When are we talking about it? Tomorrow?
Oh, when are we talking about it? It's still April. It's still August 27th. I just found out just this moment.
It is.
Okay, maybe not tomorrow. Wait, but then Monday would be the 31st, right? Oh, yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, we'll talk about the 31st. Okay. No Emu Doug. I understand Cleveland's hope for a quarterback in next year's draft, but can you play this year with a quarterback that the fans really dislike and will boo every time he touches the ball? They're going to try. I don't know how long it's going to last, to your point, but we'll see.
That's I'll circle back. When did we talk about first coach fired? Was that yesterday or the day before?
Yeah, I can't even remember.
I know would be real bizarre to see a first-year head coach go, but I think this could be such a disaster in Cleveland that we get like halfway through the season and it's hit some kind of reset button.
Todd Monken.
And I'm talking to
Funky Monken.
No, nice. I like it.
Thank you.
BC Boys. I think there's a possibility that it's like we're talking halfway through the season. It's not just like him gone and like Deshaun Watson. We might even end up being at a point where like Shador's not working out. And it's just like Dylan Gabriel go out there and finish the season.
Yeah. Michael Montesano letting everybody know he's coming on the show. Ice Goon. Hey, I know you guys are having Jake Cohen on in a few hours. I actually got to visit him when he was at Nellis. Oh, wow. You guys can send me a DM. I can tell you what my visit was like in more than 280 characters, but not excessively more, okay? I would love to. We're doing a show. Otherwise, I would. I wish I had seen that beforehand. Nellis, by the way, Kelley, the prison that he was sent to here where you can actually look out and see the Las Vegas Strip. So imagine what he was prosecuted for and then the irony or the kick in the you-know-what of then looking out the window and seeing the Las Vegas Strip.
That's crazy. What a wild story. I mean, from start to finish, can't wait till we get into it with him. But yeah, even that detail is just wild.
Bobby Geddes, Gill, let's be real. We know the only way Kelley leaves a numbers game is if he gets the Phil Swift job or inherits several Falcons. It's very true. My bad. Las Vegas 514, yo, don't forget about your joy over one John Riggins. Okay, you're right. John Riggins, the most excited I've ever been. Mm-hmm. And finally, Shrek, well, there's not finally, but I'll stop here. Shrek McPhee, it's not a draw for today. It's a reveal for the U.S. Open. He says, why do we ruin everything good in sports? Easier to fix matchups? LOL. Zach Cohen joins us now again, courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line. I'm sorry, Zach, it is. It's like when your child is born now, right? They do the parents do the reveal for the gender reveal, right? This is not a draw. It's a reveal for the U.S. Open. Here's the non-Yannick Sinner, because there's Yannick Sinner not playing. Carlitos at DraftKings is now 2-1, plus 200. Sasha Zverev plus 320. Novak going for his 25th singles Grand Slam titles plus 750. Ben Shelton 9-1. Where did you end up? You've got some good numbers on some folks. Who'd you end up with?
Yeah, so last either Monday or Tuesday, like overnight while I was away, I got a text that Sinner was likely going to be out and that Alcaraz was going to be in. But I haven't seen Alcaraz play in 4 or 5 months. Wasn't really high on him going into this tournament. So I took some flyers. I got Shelton. I got Fritz both at 19-1. I got Rafael Hodar at 20-1. And I got Felix Auger-Aliassime at 49-1. I mean, these are kind of roughly equivalent. Some of these were at prediction markets, so not exact science comparing the two. But yeah, 4 of those players. I still think that there's some value on Felix at 25-1. But yeah, I do think we're going to see, a different champion here. I think that Carlos and Djokovic, from what I have seen in either practice sets or exhibitions, like they just don't look right to me. Alcaraz possibly holding a lot back in terms of like his serve, but we have really seen nothing but like slow sliders. We haven't really seen any of the fastball stuff. And I think that Djokovic has just looked really lost. So I think we're going to see somebody else win. And I really do think that there's a chance it could be a guy like Shelton or Fritz, who, both play so well in New York. And I think that Fritz would be my favorite pick to win outside of the top 2, but Felix, that price is just tough to pass on.
It's so funny because Taylor Fritz, of all the names you've mentioned, I'm like, okay, in a world I could see that. Taylor Fritz is the one I can't get to. I just cannot see this guy hoisting up a U.S. Open trophy. But we'll see. You're right. He does play well. He specifically plays well in California, right? That's where he plays the best. Yeah. But certainly there's a bit of a home road split with guys like him and Tiafoe. You and Drew both, it appears, leaning Felix Auger-Aliassime, last year's semifinalist once before at the U.S. Open. Ladies' side, any thoughts preliminary before the draw?
Yeah, well, I mean, you did solid, and you texted that you found Iga at plus 700. It was like while she was winning a match, I forget where, but she has been so good. I was able to jump on her at plus 800, and I think if it's not going to be Iga, I think it's going to be Coco, who I think just has completely figured out the serve and the forehand. And I think there are going to be moments over the next 2 weeks where we're going to see her kind of lose that. but I feel like she's good enough at grinding her way through matches that she's going to find a way to work herself really deep in the tournament. But yeah, she has been as impressive as anyone. I think those two are playing the best tennis coming into this. Pegula, I think, will make a deep run, but it's kind of alarming when you see her go up against somebody like Coco, and it feels like she has almost no answers. But yeah, that's really where I stand right now on the women's side. I will also mention, though, for the men, just before we could quickly kind of move off of it, like Hodar and Feast are the two players that I think I would pick if we had better best of 5 data for both of them.
Me too.
I think that in terms of like ELO rating and just performance rating and everything we've kind of seen from them eye test wise, those have been the two best players that are not Sinner or Alcaraz. It's just such a question mark how Hodar is going to kind of hold up in a best of 5. And Feast is the same thing where he has those back issues, but he looked really impressive in Cincinnati. So yeah, it's really interesting on both sides.
I said the exact same thing. Hodar and Feast are my guys. I said about Hodar specifically, but I don't know about a best of 5 with him 7 times. We'll see. Okay, let me just ask you this before you go. National Football League. We all had to submit for our NFL Betting Guide 2.0. I'm not sure if you added anything to it as well. But what's the one Zach Cohen season-long NFL bet that you've made that we might not have heard about here on the show? What have you added?
Yeah. So the one that I'm adding, I haven't even written it up in that best bets file yet because I'm working on the AFC write-ups for that guide right now. But I like Malik Willis over 549.5 rushing yards. I just feel like everything that we've heard out of him throughout training camp has been that he's been performing at a really high level and he's been throwing the ball well. And that's a team that they don't really have a backup quarterback. They don't really have anybody that they need to turn to towards the end of the season. I think this is Willis's job for as long as he's able to stay healthy. And when he has been able to stay healthy and when he has started games, he's averaged 45 rushing yards per game. So over the course of a season, that's a 765-yard pace. I don't think he's going to play every game this year, but I do think we're going to see him in a lot of games where, you know, they're losing big, they're soft defenses, they're giving up 6-7 yard runs to him that don't really matter. And I think there's going to be a couple of games where he really breaks out and rushes for like 70 or 80 yards. So that's where I ended up landing with him. But yeah, he's been one of the most impressive players to me, both in camp and preseason. So wanted to find a way to back him. I think that that's a low enough number.
How can you not like that bet? I guess with all season long overs, you have to say barring injury, right? Because that's that's the fly in the ointment with overs. Because injuries, this just do happen. But yeah, I would have no problem living through that bet.
You know what my favorite part about that bet is, Zach? It helps to bet an over on a rushing prop with a quarterback who doesn't have any receivers to throw the ball to. So
sure.
that's really what I like best about it.
It's a good element.
There is nobody on that roster to throw it to.
All right, Zach, I have to ask you the question that our non-betting friends would most ask us, and for some reason, like we're too cool for school to ever ask it on the show. Who's in the Super Bowl?
I think it's going to be the Bills and the 49ers, and I think the Bills are going to win. I don't know if that's exactly what I had when we released the first guide. I feel like I might have had something like it or something similar. I already forgot, but that is what I have right now. I think the Bills, from what I've read, what I've seen, I think the defense is going to be a little bit better. I really like Jim Leonard as a defensive coordinator, possibly because of where I went to school, but I do think he is a really bright defensive mind, and I think that they have a lot more talent pass rushing this year, and it's going to be up to that secondary, but I like what I've seen from them. I think that they're going to be really good.
Bills 10-1 to win it all. Bills over the Niners from Zach Cohen. Wow. It really is, though, but you bring it up. The length of time from our 1.0 to our 2.0 betting guide, I don't know how many people have regrets about some of their plays in 1.0, but like I have the Niners over and then substation madness or whatever happened, right? All the injuries.
Yeah.
I had the Commanders making the playoffs and then
Laramie
Tunsil. I mean, it's just they just look so bad and we haven't even started yet. And then, of course, if either of them happen, I'll be like, I'm like, genius. Thank you,
Long
Zach.
summer.
Thank you, Zach.
Thanks, guys.
Glad you got home safely. Zach Cohen, everybody. Betting on X. On the old Twitter machine, Hardwood Handicappers is the podcast. Most wins, fewest wins, Major League Baseball next.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Back on a numbers game live from Circa Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. It's radio's Gill Alexander. That's television's Kelley Bydlon, everybody. Here on set. Yeah. Overlooking the greatest sports book in the world.
Was a lot of me in the Circa documentary last night, Survivor documentary.
Was there?
Yeah, it sucked.
You sucked?
Sucked. It was terrible. I'm like dead serious. It was terrible. It was disgusted.
You hated your performance?
I hated it. But I was on like 3 times. It was like I was like half the documentary last night. I sucked at the beginning.
This man is so
I
happy.
brought up your name too, bro.
You brought up my name?
Oh yeah, when it was terrible. Like I don't even know what I was talking about. Swear to God, I don't even know what I was talking about.
You mean you brought my name up while you were being terrible?
While I was being terrible. So I dragged you down too. I dragged you into it too.
That's
I was much better later in the show though. It was much better later.
Were you like in the middle of it, you're like, not only am I terrible, but so's Gill.
I don't even know what I was like. Gil Alexander always says it best, and then whatever I said after that was not anything you ever say.
That's awesome.
It's like the worst quoting ever.
Attribute a
it's like
random
misquoting. I'm just rambling. I'm like, I have no idea what that guy just said.
As Gill always says,
there's also the Matt did warn me this. I think he warned me this episode was coming. It's funny because they had to space me out because there's bigger Kelley at the beginning. That's bad Kelley. Bigger Kelley's bad Kelley.
Oh, you had different weights as well.
Yeah, from in season last year. It's just the time that we shoot these things, you know?
I don't think you could have a better promo for episode 6 of the Circus Survivor documentary than that right there.
I was really bad. I feel bad. Feel bad, but they could have edited me out. It's their choice.
Gill always says, never get the gefilte fish. By the way, shout out RIP to the NFL Pro Bowl game.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they finally put it to bed. No game. I think we can agree of all the all-star games.
Yeah.
Major League Baseball,
no, they
hockey.
All
they all stink.
They all
basketball. I don't know. Basketball gives football a run for your money, but you can't play fake football. That's the one sport you can't play fake.
Okay, that's well said. Yeah.
Sean Taylor didn't get the memo, but yes.
I was going to sit here and argue with it that
Yeah.
they're just all terrible, that I can't. But you're right. It's really hard to play fake football. You can fake the rest.
You can. We get tweets speaking of the book. Gabadiel, I hope I'm saying that right. Morning, Gilly. What would you prefer for your team? Not fantasy-oriented, just regular season football. A receiver with 2,000 yards and 8 touchdowns? Or a receiver with 1,000 yards receiving and 16 touchdowns? I'll take the 2,000-yard receiver with the 8 touchdowns. All day. All day, every day. Because, you know, a touchdown guy could be just a vulture.
What, can I ask
Catch
you
a
about,
1-yard touchdown.
Can I ask you about the Pro Bowl again?
Yeah.
Okay, so with games gone, they're going to honor everybody still. So you will
Yes.
be like a Pro Bowl selected player. It's like 88 or something like that. But are they going to they just teased us on NFL Network, and they were showing old footage when they used to do the like skills competitions. I thought that stuff was cool, like 20 years ago. They were just showing like Larry Allen do like 1 million bench presses. Like, and do you remember when they used to do the 40-yard dashes and it'd be like 7 guys against each other? And it was always like the old dunk contest. It was actually like the fastest guys in the league. Like Champ Bailey be out there versus whoever.
Like Darryl Green would just crush everybody.
It was great. I'm like, I'm still down for that. Like that part, those were always cool.
And just excuse the Super Bowl participants. Like, you guys don't have to come to this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because you have a game. Everybody else, come on down.
Mm-hmm.
Willie B. Benton. When Botic first became more of a known name amongst tennis fans when he beat Casper Ruud at the 22 U.S. Open, Brad Gilbert kept calling him Botic Van Zandt. So now every time I bet him and he wins, I feel obligated to play Freebird in its entirety. Bob Thomas Prime says, we love spreadsheet radio. Danny Burmett has something to say, but Danny, you were the guy who tweeted after the first day of July and said, oh, great bet by Gill on the Red Sox. They're off to a flying start. So you're on, like, 2-year probation, buddy. We can't read your tweets. I'm sorry. You've did yourself in. J-Rod. GM, let's see what he said. Game week 1, Circus Survivors play. Oh, he said he's taking the Stillers. He's taking Todd Wishnev's Blitzburg Stillers. He's fading Tua for Survivor. J-Rod is week 1. Okay.
Kind of like that.
I guess we got to dive into it. Are you getting your entries this weekend?
No. But I'll do them at some point. I don't know.
It's a hard no from Kelley. No.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
Oh, Jason McKinney. Do you know who had the Giants yesterday? You guessed it, Toddy Wishnev. Also, when talking baseball today, could you ask a guest about the non-balk call with PCA on third? Oh, the Cubs got just shafted. PCA was great after the game, just like saying, I don't know, they get something wrong every night. He'll take the fine. He was very angry. The Giants, though, we didn't really do it justice. Eugenio Suarez hit a grand slam as part of Cincinnati's 7-run 9th inning as the Reds overcame a 6-run deficit, beat the Giants 10-9 yesterday. This is the old Nick Bogdanovich whiskey in a revolver game.
Yeah, for real.
The Reds had lost 967 consecutive games when trailing by at least 6 runs entering the 9th and improved their record in such situations to 3-1,917. Now you want me to do it from the Giants' perspective?
Sure.
This is from the Giants' perspective.
I wanted to make sure to include those numbers in there for you.
What have I done here?
3 and whatever. Shout out to Nick Bogdanovich quick while you're looking that up because they're doing a great job with Boomers. It's, in the era of we're seeing Westgate and all these other books shut down and it's all just the big corporate books. It's great to see an independent operator do a great job, frankly.
Don't limit him. That's what he's saying. That's what I got out of
Too
that.
late.
Giants. The Giants franchise were 2,208-0 all time when leading by 6+ runs entering the 9th inning. The Giants have been a franchise heading back to the East Coast since 1883. 2,208-0 before what happened yesterday. Congratulations, Giants bettors. You're welcome.
Been a franchise since when?
1883.
Okay, so how much money would you be willing to bet that this definitely did not happen from 1884 to 1905? We are so confident.
I love many things about Kelley. Maybe top of the list is his skepticism of how early 20th century, late 19th century people handled such things.
19th century sports stats. I'm just supposed to count on whoever was taking care of that. That is 100% accurate.
Did you think that those folks were less interested in being accurate about that stuff?
I wouldn't say that. Just everything was new, right? And there's the communication methods, which there's none. You had to send what was it, like a carrier pigeon, with your post game write up.
You know what you are? You're an old timerist. That's what you
right,
are.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're absolutely. Jason McKinney. Oh no, I already read Jason McKinney. Right Angle Sports letting us know they're going to be on. Michael Reardon is going to join us.
Does have a release coming.
Oh, he does. We
Yes.
have a live release. We're going to move the college football market on the show. Okay. And then Ryan Hyatt, fact, the last hour and 15 minutes of a numbers game with Gill and Kelley and Bill Krackenberger may end up being some of the best content ever aired on VSiN. Thanks, Crack, for getting World Sports Exchange's Jake Cohen to join the show today. Absolutely.
Hey, Gil, before we go to these baseball markets,
yes, sir.
Can I ram in some golf bets? Because we've got the Tour Championships.
Ram it through Congress.
Starting in 8 minutes, I believe, is the first tee time. And I do have a couple first-round leader bets I added. Xander Schauffele, which I'm on him outright, top 5, top 10 as well. Played him first-round leader, 16-1. We also talked... we talked yesterday with Ryan Noonan about Tom Kim. I said that he was one of the long shots. I did like this. Okay, I'm going to play him first round leader, 30-1. I think that's personally for me the best market to play him this week. So 30-1 first round leader on Tom Kim, 16-1 on Xander. And just real quick, the other bets I made this week: outrights Xander at 15-1, Collin Morikawa 20-1. Top 5 on Xander, top 10 on Xander, top 10s on Collin Morikawa and Patrick Cantlay.
All right, best records in baseball right now. The Milwaukee Brewers are 82-51. The Dodgers are 80-53. So again, with 26, 7, 8 games, depending on what team you're talking about, left in the season, less than 5 weeks left in the season. Those are your two best teams record-wise. Tampa Bay Rays right behind that at 79-54. For the race for the best record of baseball, then it's the Braves at 78-55. So these are the numbers, though. The Dodgers are minus 110. The Brewers, who are 2 games better than them and who beat the Dodgers in terms of this market last year, they're plus 150. Everybody else is 12-1 or longer. But I just want to say the Dodgers, and this is where strength of schedule does matter when you're down to this short of a runway. The Dodgers have the 4th easiest remaining schedule in all of baseball. Aggregate win percentage of opponents, 473. Brewers have the 11th hardest. Aggregate win percentage of opponents, 509. To me, it's the proper favorite as a result of that.
Yeah.
And I know the Dodgers only care about being 1-2. So there is that. They're not super incentivized to win this. But in terms of schedule, I get it.
Yeah, and you and I said all summer, every time we talked about this market for the past 2.5 months, 3 months, it was Brewers. Because the pricing was, remember, they kept having this same lead basically over the Dodgers. It was always like, hey, they're the game or two up on the Dodgers, and they were like 4-1 in this market. Mm-hmm. So we said Brewers almost every time we did this, but now it's all the way down to plus 150.
There might be a bet for fewest wins, though. Because right now, the Angels and the Rockies both have 52 wins. The Athletics have 53 wins, and the Giants have 54 wins.
Giants going to catch them?
After yesterday, after that collapse, the Giants have the 5th hardest remaining schedule. Rockies have the 6th highest. But at 15-1, you got to take a flyer on that.
Yeah.
Angels Athletics, much easier schedule. Giants 15-1, that's the obvious play. Fewest regular season wins. Don't let them down, Giants. Coming back on a numbers game.